What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, look, man, I saw this on X/Twitter, right? And at first, I thought this was one of those fake quotes from this parody account that's on X called NBA. Now, we know there's a real, authentic NBA Central, but there's a fake one. It has almost the same little Jumpman insignia with the red and blue basketball. It looks almost identical. And as a matter of fact, it's fooled a couple people because it looks almost identical, with the exception of the fact that the quotes that they put up there are usually completely outlandish, if you really look at it. And B, you gotta be real careful because the A in Central is an E in the fake account. So it could get you if you're not used to it. So I'm looking at this and I said, oh, this must be the fake one. But I look, wait a minute, this is from the real NBA Central. So not double check it. Over 4 million followers. I said, So now I look to see whether this has been reported by other reputable news outlets. Yes, it was. Kevin Durant called out Stephen A. Smith today, tired of the criticism, a constant criticism from Stephen A. Smith, calling him a clown. So, Kevin Durant fires back at Stephen A. Smith over ESPN's personality's criticisms. Tired enough that the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant is tired of the criticism about his leadership, tired enough that the Phoenix Suns star clapped back at ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith in an interview with The Atlantic that was published today, saying, quote, yeah, Stephen A., I don't understand how people even listen to Stephen A. I've been in the league for 18 years. I've never seen Stephen A. at a practice or a film session or a shoot around. I've never seen him anywhere but on TV talking shit about players. He's a clown to me. He's always been a clown. You can write that too, meaning you can quote me on that. Because a lot of times these players say things off the record. And any legit, credible journalist will honor that. Don't quote me on that. Okay, this is something I'm telling you off the record. And journalists that violate that will never get any other information from players pretty much ever again, unless it's a guy that's outside of the world of basketball that has a vendetta, knowing this guy's a snitch and tell everything. But usually that's a gross violation for a journalist to quote somebody on something that they say off the record. But the fact that Kevin Durant said, quote me on that, he mean that shit. He means it. And the response followed up a clip from Stephen A. Smith, posted October 24th to his social media, in which he dismissed the Suns as legitimate contenders, in large part over Durant's leadership, saying, quote, when you are that great, you should be able to be a better leader than he has shown. Durant responded to that post from his social media account saying he would disagree, saying, quote, I would argue passionately that my intangibles have always been on par with my talent. Durant told The Athletic he was, quote, the same dude when asked if he was being more vocal than last year. Obviously, you grow as a human being, you get more comfortable with yourself, you get more comfortable talking to crowds as you experience more and more in the league. I've always been on this trajectory of diving deep into the game, not just for myself, but for the whole team. To say that I'm just sitting here, you paint this picture of me coming into the locker room, not talking to my teammates, quiet, not talking to my coaches. Like, come on, man. It's just ridiculous. Look, these two have a long history, you know what I'm saying, of back and forth, okay? It was Stephen A. Smith who like many of us said, thought that the move that Kevin Durant made in 2016 signing with the Warriors was weak. Matter of fact, Stephen A. Smith infamously referred to it as the weakest move in NBA history. It got to the point where there was great animosity between the two. Now, apparently, I think it was like some years ago, maybe like 5 years ago or something, he squashed it with Katie. Remember? They had the little sit down and everything seemed cool. But Stephen A. Smith, you know what I'm saying, continues to take little shots at these guys. And, you know, it doesn't make any sense because like a lot of these guys are saying, look, it's one thing to to criticize a player or from some basketball standpoints. You know, he's not playing well. You know, he might do something that's unprofessional, something within the parameters of the game. But the question, his leadership, where is that coming from? Is that just an opinion that you're throwing out there for one of your, you know, fake ass unnamed sources? Because contrary to popular opinion, a lot of these analysts on BSPN and fake sports, they create narratives themselves. You know, Stephen A. Smith is the same clown that demanded pretty much, because he put it out there, and that he pretty much demanded, I ain't saying he demanded, but he pretty much put out there the perception that Adrian Griffin was the problem with the Bucks. And you saw a growing call from NBA insiders and even fans that Adrian Griffin needs to be fired, right? Despite the fact that he had a 30-13 record when he was terminated. Now look at the Bucks. So the problem wasn't Adrian Griffin. The problem just may be personnel, or the problem may be on the court stuff, leadership, perhaps. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, problems continue. Was it Adrian Griffin? Clearly not. Okay? Now all of a sudden, students are putting out there, Doc Rivers might be on the hot seat. So the problem is, bro, like, the problem that I think these players have with Stephen A. Smith is that he professed like he has the players' backs, and you know he's just giving objective takes. But in reality, Stephen A. Smith feel like he really is that dude to the point where if you get on his bad side, for instance, I guarantee you now, Stephen A. Smith is going to have a personal vendetta to an extent against Kevin Durant. Now he's gonna act like he cool. He always gonna preface his rants with, "Oh, I have nothing but respect for the brother. He's simply incredible. He's balling." We all know now that's the code. That's the signal that you get ready to shit on this dude. Okay, that's what Stephen A. Smith does, man. And none of these players have any real respect for him. You're a proven liar. You said you had a 6-inch rod inserted into your knee. How is that possible? Wouldn't that motherfucker be sticking out the back of your leg? And even if you put it in, even if you insert the rod vertically, like going downward, how would you be able to sit down? Doesn't make any sense. Then supposedly you had this remarkable performance when Clarence Big House Gaines just signed you on the spot. Maybe it happened. Maybe it did. But Clarence Big House Gaines is dead. I think he's been dead for like almost 20 years, so we will never know. And, you know, at the end of the day, man, I just don't like this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. Smith is he's just a piece of shit, man. Going around bullying people at the fucking at BSPN. If somebody say something that you don't like, or you know, or they check you on something, you get personal. I'm gonna ask somebody that's listening to this video, because I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say this. I'm I'm going to take a guess that Monica McNutt hasn't been back on ESPN First Take since she checked Stephen A. Smith, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she has been, but I haven't seen her back since then. Why? Because he's a spiteful dude he thinks he's the all-being, all-knowing, can't question him. He's the basketball savant. Don't dare question me, or I'm going to punish you. It's like he did poor Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman don't say he's a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But because Max Kellerman is on the right side of certain issues when it comes to the black community, and since Terrell Owens told you the truth to your goddamn face, you took it out on Max Kellerman. Making up all these bull crap reasons for why you think the show isn't working. No, you just didn't want to be part of it no more because A, Max is smarter than you. B, Max is more in tune with issues in your community. Your own community, Max is more in tune with issues than you are. And B, Max probably is more liked by his colleagues than you're liked by the same people. You talking about you do stuff for the brothers at BSPN, but I can't tell it because what was that guy named Doug Jones or something Jones? Probably a former ESPN employee now. The one who liked that comment about how you basically are a buck dancer. So yeah, Stephen A. Smith got a long history of just going out there, being on the wrong side of every goddamn thing. You know, taking up for old Josh Giddey. You know what I'm saying? Every time there's a situation where you could show your solidarity with brothers, you take the other position. You always talking about with people like Giddey and others, we got to wait on preponderance of evidence. We got to wait for the preponderance of evidence. But hey, the preponderance of evidence said that OJ was innocent, but you to this day say he should be under the jail. So to hell with evidence when it comes to OJ, you just know he guilty. But we have issues with other people. We gotta wait on the justice system and respect the law. Man, you was a clown, bro. Just like he said, you was a clown. Straight up. And them players don't like you, man. Don't nobody mess with this dude, man. Look what you did to Jaylen Brown. Now he went on his show and was respectful, but it's just a pattern with you, man. It's a pattern with him. You keep trying to toe this line, you know what I'm saying? Trying to toe this line where you do just enough to appease, or at least you think you appease in the community and your people, but then you do just enough that you think to try to stay in good graces with others. But when you do that, when you try to be all people, all things to all people, you don't have support. You will not have concrete support because nobody trusts you. They know what you are. So yeah, kudos to Kevin Durant for calling you a goddamn clown. And by the way, I think I'll end this video with appropriate music and image for old Stephen A. Let's see. Clown.